Hello and welcome to this short support video explaining how a hospice can register for the capacity tracker. Once you've opened an internet browser, enter carehomes.nexu.nhs.uk in the address bar and press enter. This will take you to the main screen. To start the registration process, select the large green button Register Now. To register on Capacity Tracker, you'll be asked for 6 pieces of information: your email address, your full name, contact number, job title, user type and provider type, i.e. standard or approver. An approver can grant new users access to or remove existing users from the Capacity Tracker, for example if they've left. Please note, there should always be at least 2 approvers for each organisation to cover annual leave, sickness and so forth. This would normally include the manager and deputy manager, but you're welcome to have as many approvers for your organisation as necessary, and there are no limits either to how many users you want to have access to be able to update your bed availability. Type in your email address. This will be required each time you log into the Capacity Tracker, and it will also be the email address that will receive the new user login details, including a temporary password. This needs to be an email address that hasn't already been registered with Capacity Tracker. If you do happen to type one that has already been registered, you'll be warned that the username has already been taken. Should this be the case, please contact the help desk for guidance on how to resolve by calling 0300 555 0340. Generic passwords can be used here too for teams who want to log in with the same password for ease of use. It doesn't matter whether organisations use their own staff emails or a generic email, just remember the login details will get sent to that email address. Now type in your full name. Next, type in the best contact number for this email address. It can be a mobile or landline number and needs to be between 8 and 12 digits. Now type in your job title. If you have selected a generic email above, you might want to repeat the name of the team that you entered in the full name field. The next step is to select the user type. Remember, an approver is someone who can add or remove access from users that are registered to your organisation. If a new user registers for access to your organisation, the approvers will get notified and be able to accept or reject that user. For everyone else, who just needs to be able to update the bed availability and organisation setup, they should just leave the user type highlighted green. The provider type should also be selected. In this case, hospice should be chosen. That's the first step finished. Now press next. Step 2 simply involves typing in the postcode of your hospice. Once the postcode has been entered, you'll see a list of organisations that the CQC have registered from this postcode or address. To select your hospice, simply click on its name from the list to select, and a tick will then be displayed. To register for more hospices that you need access to at a different postcode, just type the other postcode and once again click one from the list. You can keep repeating this process for as many hospices as you need access to for your organisation. If you wish to use Capacity Tracker to search for vacancies to support the discharge of people into care or residential homes from your hospice, please select Yes, then just press the Next button. Step 3 is the final part of the registration process and simply involves clicking into the checkboxes to say that you understand and agree with the terms of use of the Capacity Tracker and agree to receive communications. Finally, click on Complete. This will trigger an email to Capacity Tracker system administrators and any approvers already registered for your organisation. Once your registration application has been approved, you'll be sent an automated email to the email address you registered, which will contain all relevant login details. This will normally be within 24 hours, but will be dependent upon how quickly your organisation's approvers review your registration and the volume of new user requests. After you've received your login details, please try to log in. The first time you log into Capacity Tracker, you'll be asked to update your password to something that's more memorable. You'll then be asked to retype it, as most websites do these days. Here's a tip. When logging in, put a tick in the Remember Me checkbox below your password. That way you won't have to keep typing your login details every time you use the Capacity Tracker. Now let's set up your hospice on the Capacity Tracker. When you log into the Capacity Tracker, you'll be presented with a screen containing various tiles. You'll need to select Hospice Providers to display your hospice on the next page. Now you'll see a blue link after each of the 3-column entries. We're going to quickly work through each of these links and show you what you need to do. Please note, if you've registered for multiple hospices, all of the hospices that you are registered for will be listed, and you'll be required to repeat the following process for each one individually. Most of these steps need to be done one time only to ensure your hospice is correctly set up. The only page that needs to be changed on at least a daily basis is the vacancies page. More on that later. So, the first link you click on is Edit after the hospice name. Now before we go any further, you'll notice the links from the previous page have now helpfully appeared at the top of this page, and all you need to do is work your way across them in order. Check the name and address details that we have imported about your hospice from the CQC and update as required. Classification and funding defaults to services provided by your organisation, in this case provides hospice services. Under miscellaneous details, we import your latest CQC report URL and public URL directly from the CQC, and this enables other users of the Capacity Tracker to quickly link to these places on the internet. Under manager details, please do ensure this section is fully completed and always kept up to date. As you might expect, the details in this section are used throughout the Capacity Tracker, and in particular are used in the main search results to help all other users make contact directly with your hospice if they want to reserve one of your beds. You must click the Save Details button to save any changes you've made. The use of the note log is not mandatory for hospices to use. It's effectively a notice board for the manager to use to publicise anything they feel is relevant to the other users of the Capacity Tracker. Each provider has complete control over whether it uses the note log and what it enters. Some providers use this facility to promote some features of the hospice, others use it to advertise of any particular restrictions in place. The choice is yours, and you can add as many notes as you like. These notes appear in user search results, so please be careful what you type. Now go back to the top of the page and select Edit Bed Types. Edit Bed Types is where you tell the Capacity Tracker which bed types you offer, either hospice beds or none of these vacancy types. Simply click the relevant checkboxes and you'll see them turn green. To deselect any green ones, just click it again. It's important to note that the bed types you select from this page will determine what you see on the next pages. Now press Save. Moving to the top of the screen again, select Edit Maximum Capacity. For each bed type you offer, state how many beds you could offer if your hospice was completely empty. The total number of beds you have should invariably match what your hospice is registered with the CQC to provide, and we display this information directly from the CQC for your information. Once your numbers have been entered, click Save. Now back to the top of the screen again and select Edit Vacancies. This is the screen which you'll use over and over again to update your actual vacancies. Enter the number of available beds you have for each of the bed types. If you have no beds available, please enter 0. Once completed, press Save. Your hospice registration is now fully complete. This final action you'll be asked to repeat as your vacancy situation changes throughout the day, but as a minimum once a day. To log off from Capacity Tracker, just click on your email in the top right hand corner of the page.